His guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of management.
A very tragic incident has occurred on the island of New Providence, one involving an 8-year-old Negro lad who it is being alleged that he has committed suicide. Isn't that amazing? An 8-year-old, it is being alleged, has committed suicide. I'll talk about suicide and mental health issues. I shall also tell you that the Health Minister, Dr. Michael Dowell, he intends to bring on at least 41, perhaps 42, how should I call it, mental health nurses. But it's a very sad story. This report coming out of St. Albans Drive, just down the road from them bunch of apartment that the Attorney General Ryan Pinder daddy used to own on St. Albans Drive. And then yesterday there was an armed robbery on Marshall Road, just opposite the Baptist Academy. There's a store. 2 well-armed Negro gunmen, they entered the store and they terrorized those who were there, and they were successful in carrying out the robbery. So broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive, welcome once again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. He has been shocked upon learning that an 8-year-old Negro lad is alleged to have committed suicide. Bradley, what a day in the Bahamas.
It's tragic. It's the first time for me to hear an incident of that magnitude. I've never, ever heard of any 8-year-old child wanting to commit suicide. That's
perhaps
tragic.
You may need to add some more ages. What about a 9-year-old child? A 10-year-old? 11-year-old? 12? Maybe 13? We'll talk about children's suicide, how suicides are being committed in the Bahamas, and I suspect it's murders. And there's no investigation. You hear what I tell you? There is none. I'm tired of it. Suicide should be investigated, and this is powerful. God saved the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God saved children.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
March. My name is Rodney Monker, and just in case I didn't tell you, today happens to be Thursday, the 10th of October 2024, and there is sad news coming out of St. Albans Drive, just down the road from where the Attorney General, that's Ryan Pinder, daddy, did own all of them apartment on the eastern side of St. Albans Drive. There's this report that I find very, very disturbing of an 8-year-old Negro lad. It is being alleged that he committed suicide. And I'm very disturbed. Many of you might not be aware that many years ago, I had a blessed opportunity to work at the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center. And based on my employment and my experience, I do have an understanding and an appreciation for mental health issues. And I want you to know that I am quite aware that in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we have some very serious mental issues. In fact, I want to suggest that perhaps 95% of the population is really crazy when you take into consideration the many crimes that are being committed, mayhem, the level of violence, the lack of tolerance. It suggests to me, as a former pot washer at the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center and a former attendant on the admission ward, it suggests to me that there is serious mental health issues. And I have evidence today to show you where we as a people, where the authorities have covered up major mental health issues involving young people who have either been murdered or they allege committed suicide. And I'm talking about children under the age of 18. And just think about it. Just think about the fact that we've had children who it is alleged they committed suicide. Do you know I'm the only Negro citizen who never believed them? Never believed them. And I'll tell you a secret. They have not held any inquiry as it is required by law when any individual is alleged to have committed suicide, and particularly for children. I have the evidence in the front of me. Watch out for me. We've had situations where little children whose parents have been on plenty dope. Listen to me. I'm 67. We've had situations where parents have been on dope and the children them take the dope and they die. And we as a nation cover it up to protect their wifeless parents. So if you are on dope, what the heck you doing leaving the dope for your children them to take it and die? And take it from me. We cover it up. But I don't say anything because I don't have any political power. And these are very powerful people who have done it. Okay? Just think about it. That is what has happened in this country. So I'm always suspicious when I hear that suicide. We don't commit suicide. All right? We don't. Okay? I'm not going to say that perhaps one or two of us may not have done it or may not have tried, but I'm very depressed. Man, I'm depressed. When I walk into the studio, and let me tell you why I'm depressed. I happen to have been in the company with the Minister of Health. I happen to be in the company of the Minister of National Security. And I was not aware of this suicide, which it is alleged took place around 12 noon. I didn't know. And when I walked into the studio and they informed me of the suicide, that had an emotional effect on me. It really had an emotional effect on me. An 8-year-old child, an 8-year-old boy, take a belt and hang himself, I will not believe it. All right? I will not believe that. I don't care who say it. I will not believe that. But we're going to pursue mental health because there are serious mental health issues. And I'm happy that Dr. Michael Davel will soon publicly announce at least 41 mental health nurses, which is powerful. My spiritual advisor, please forgive me, but behold the Bahamian people.
Yeah, we're going to go. Thank you so much, Senator. Good to be here. We're going to go to the book of Matthew. Is it chapter? A very powerful scripture today, indeed. We're looking at 18, is it? Yes, Matthew 18. Let me do this. Let me start from verse number 3, Mr. Russo, because I want to get something in as I talk about this passage of scripture. I'm so sorry. Yes, absolutely. These are the words of Jesus, Matthew 18, verses 3 through 6. And he said, truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me. If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it will be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18, I read from verses 3 through 6. In your spare time, go back over this passage and really allow it to sink in. Matthew 18, 3 through 6. I read from the NIV just for clarity. The word of God is forever and ever blessed. Amen. Thank you, producer. Back to you, Santa.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Indeed.
It's a wonderful scripture. I want Bahamians, I want parents, I want family members to hug their children. I want you to be responsible for your children. Do you know where your children are? Even if you say they are in the house and you are in another room. There's been a major problem here in the Bahamas where even when we are at home and our children, it is reported to be in another room, we're not checking. And if you do not check from time to time, children have the ability to get themselves in mischief. And so parents and guardians and other senior members of the family, they have a duty constantly to be watching out for relatives, for children. And here in the Bahamas, we've had adults who, it is alleged, committed suicide. Check the record. Did the coroner hold an inquest to investigate whether or not it was really, if it really was a suicide? Check the record, check it. You will find that in many instances it has not happened because powerful family members, they block it. They have been successful in interfering with the administration of justice and preventing the coroner from investigating. Check it. Check about how many persons that it has been alleged have committed suicide, and when last did you hear that the coroner met to investigate? Check it, please. Please check it. And you will see that there have been children who it is alleged have committed suicide, and it's been covered up. And there have been strong evidence where parents had in their homes drugs. And that's one of the reasons why I'm opposed to the government legalizing these dangerous drugs. But you've had parents, it is alleged, were hooked on cocaine, and they had the coke in the house, and the children took the coke. And since they represent power and influence. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. You hear me? Nothing happened. Though I don't want nobody to challenge me, because I have the name right on the tip of my tongue. Okay? And I think it is wicked when the society fails to protect children, when the society fails to hold fathers and mothers accountable for leaving dope loosely, that their children can get their hands on it and abuse it. And then there is complicity with the state to cover it up. All right? If you want to leave cocaine for your baby children to take it, why should I cover up for you? Why should I? If you're going to leave dangerous drugs, it's already against the law, so that your children could have access to it. Why should the state not prosecute your backside straight to prison? Because you have a duty to protect the children. And so I'm very, very disturbed, because I'm looking at historically what has happened in the country where a child died and there was one major cover-up. Everybody who had power just covered up. It was a cover. I had to keep quiet. I tried to pull the cover off them, but it was more of them than me, so they yanked the cover back. And so all I did is I went to Black Village to say a silent prayer. So now this report of this 8-year-old boy, where the authorities were alerted that around noon, it is alleged that he attempted to commit suicide. And I have a great difficulty in accepting that, because historically our people, we don't commit suicide. Our children don't commit suicide. We don't. We all have been taught that if you commit suicide, you're going to burst hell wide open. And we don't want burst hell wide open. That is what we have been taught. And so thousands of us, we know, my brother, if you commit suicide, there is no forgiveness. There's no forgiveness. And we pass that on to our children. Our children attend school where there is a Christian assembly, where they are invited to pray and read holy scriptures. So I have a great difficulty in believing it, and I would hope that the state will, by next week, be holding an inquiry. The coroners will be holding an inquiry immediately while it is fresh in the minds of all those who were present as to what actually took place. It's a very sad, sad story. It is a story where men and women should go into the street and scream and holler that our children can be accused of committing suicide. It's very tragic. It's so sad. And then, of course, as we complain about this alleged suicide, yesterday in the area of my spiritual advisor, there's a college called, I think it's called the Baptist Academy. Had a nice store there. 2 Negro men, well armed. Man, they were well armed, I'm advised. They entered that store, and guess what they did? They robbed and they terrorized. And of course, they were successful in escaping, leaving some of the women them who were allegedly there just traumatized. And it's just sad what is taking place in our society, and something has to be done. And a part of the healing process is a strong administration of justice and a justice system that will not tolerate this and will punish those who are bold enough to commit these vicious crimes. So my spiritual advisor, behold,
I'm
an
shocked to hear.
8-year-old boy.
Okay.
I'm certain you've never heard about a child.
No, committing suicide. So
Not since 2021, right?
in 2021 was a 9-year-old, was it? How old was the child in 21?
13.
13. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna. I mean, well, I don't know what's
You don't
causing.
remember that one?
No, I don't remember the one 2021.
You don't remember in 2021? You
I don't. I
Okay.
don't. Honestly, I don't.
I'll leave you just like that.
Refresh my memory.
Huh?
Let's go back to it. What happened?
You
A
don't
13-year-old child.
A 13-year-old child, the son of a politician, is alleged to have committed suicide.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You do remember now?
It's a very sensitive issue, so.
Huh?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, suicide is.
Yeah. That caused a lot of pain.
But you do remember?
For him, yeah.
Okay.
But the question is, Sandra, what drives either a 13-year-old or 8-year-old to commit suicide? Because quite frankly, well, I mean, you would understand that there are some situations that our young kids are in that they don't want to be in. They may not have a balanced or stable home that could cause some various issues. They could have parents who may be kind of harsh towards them and therefore discourage them. I mean, that's not an excuse for suicide, but I'm thinking at the age of 8, where you don't really have to worry about what I have to worry about, trying to get bills paid and the stresses of life, trying to provide shelter and all that, pay school fees. And you figure at 8-year-old, you're basically stress-free. You just gotta, probably go to school, try to do well. Parents will take care of you. But obviously that's not the case in some cases, so it's sad,
Well, you should say, obviously, it is not some cases in the alleged cases.
Right. So in this case, we don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait for the investigation to go through on this one to see what may have caused this child to allegedly take a belt, tie it around the neck, and hang it to a bar. I guess I'm thinking a window bar, I guess, and allow himself to hang from it. Now, what's the condition of the child?
He's dead.
Oh, I thought they said the child had survived that, but okay, the child is dead. Anyhow,
this is Freedom March.
It's sad indeed.
God save children everywhere. May parents protect their children. The children belong to all of us. We have a duty to protect children, to guide them, to love them. Will you please protect the children, them? God save the King. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. We're going to pay bills. Bradley?
Yes, join us for the Baines and Grandstown Homecoming and Music Festival from October the 12th to the 14th and celebrate community heritage and empowerment with live performances, traditional Bahamian games, and the prestigious Cotton Tree Award honoring those who have shaped the Baines and Grandstown community. 103.5 FM The Beat is your exclusive media sponsor, bringing you all the excitement live. So don't miss out on this incredible celebration. See you there. Looking for a quick getaway? Fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $290 round trip, including 40 pounds of checked bags. Book your next adventure now at westernairbahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. MoneyMax, live your max life. Back to you, Sandra.
This is powerful. Well, folks, we told you about the alleged suicide that took place through St. Albans Drive this afternoon. And then we told you about the armed robbery through Marshall Road opposite the Baptist Academy. Well, now we're going to look at one or two small issues. You will note that Hurricane Milton did ascend on portions of the state of Florida, but we are told that there were many counties that escaped the wrath of Hurricane Milton. But the Americans, they are a resourceful people, a resourceful nation, and they are already beginning to put things back together. So let it be a warning for us as we watch the hurricane season, and we need to prepare. It's very, very important. We need to repair. I want to go, of course, for a few seconds because I happened to had an opportunity while in the company of the Minister of National Security. I received a call from a cab driver who then put an American tourist on the line, and she has alleged that she picked up a taxi picked her up, and the taxi, unfortunately, she left a bag with some very, very important documents, but they cannot find the cab. And of course, the new taxi driver who was riding her around, he was very frustrated that they could not find this particular taxi driver. So I was very excited that I have been able to locate his identity, and so I would need him to perhaps make contact with me so that we can arrange for him to deliver the tourists them by, because they're very unhappy over the fact that there is no, they've lost their documents. They're very upset. And I want cab drivers to tell our brother cab driver, that's taxi 1286, that he should give me a call. And that would be powerful. Tout le monde haïtien qui gagne taxi. Yon garçon, il parle créole en pile. And let moi checker nombre li. Il gagne nom haïtien. Ma belle-sœur, mon yo qui gagne nom haïtien pour relayer moi. 1, 2, 8, 6. OK? Ma pas besoin pour relayer nom li. But I have no other choice. So he really Johnny Pierre. Si vous connaissez Johnny Pierre, dis Johnny Pierre après l'homme mon cœur. Johnny Pierre. OK? Il y a un bon taxi. Johnny Pierre. C'est bon. Well, Johnny Pierre is a wonderful cab driver, but somehow he overlooked that the tourist left those wonderful documents. So I need Johnny Pierre to contact me. Okay, Johnny? This will be powerful.
Wait, tell you.
What's your problem, man?
You're wasting the man film, man.
Huh?
You're wasting the boss film. Let's get on with some
My
important
spiritual
things.
advisor, tourism is our #1 industry.
You was driving taxi today?
No, I said I was with the Minister of National Security today.
Oh, okay.
When a taxi driver called,
Okay.
I accepted his call. He then put the tourist on the line so the tourist could formally tell me what it is. I've tracked down the identification of the cab driver, Johnny Pierre. And so I need to just send that signal out. I want Johnny Pierre pour really mon cœur. Ça, c'est moi. So that's what's going on.
Right. So we don't know right now what is the present condition of the child. We don't know that, right? Because remember, because I can be also true. I was told that the child survived.
Okay, well, if you told the child was have survived, let me see what this caller say. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Mr. Bunker,
Yes.
how you doing today?
Okay. Go straight to the point.
Oh, if Mr. Pierre found that item in his vehicle, you could rest assured that individual gonna get it.
You know him?
Definitely.
Well, listen. Get the word to Johnny Pierre.
And I don't have his number. And number two,
Where he works from?
look less, huh?
Where does he work from?
Downtown,
Okay.
the food shed.
Okay.
And number two, you look a little sensible today.
I thank you for your kind words.
And number three,
Yes.
there's something that you have displayed there should have not been there. Then that make you look altogether sensible.
What was that?
Whatever you have displayed there,
What's that?
replace it with the one on the side of the spiritual advisor.
I want you to stop it, because when Donald Trump
You
becomes...
don't let me stop it. Move that American flag from.
Are you a taxi driver?
I said move the American flag.
Are you a taxi driver?
You bet and believe I am.
But let me warn you now.
Hold on. That have done the.
You will support Trump. Other than that, when it's time for the tourists, I could skip you. The Negro hang up. Listen to me, folks. Whatever candidate expression you have, I want you all to keep it personal. The only person who's allowed to express themselves is me, because I'm the leader. Okay? We are supporting Donald Trump because when Donald Trump is elected, he owes me one, and I don't want much, All I want Donald Trump to do is send every American to the Bahamas. I want him to sign an executive order that says, if you are an American, you must go to the Bahamas on vacation. So I have to try and influence this election. And that's all that I'm doing. Remember? Trump, Trump, Trump. Fight, fight, fight. Trump, Trump, Trump. Fight, fight, fight. And remember what I teach. To vote against Donald Trump is to accept racism. Don't do that. Don't vote against Trump because he's white. Okay? Don't vote for Kamala because she is alleged to be black. No, she's not black. She's an Indian. She's not a member of the African race. Now, Donald Trump, we're going to support Donald Trump because Trump is good for policies. All right? Trump is good for the economy. Trump will make America great. Trump is going to build the U.S. a big armed forces, and we're going to be protected. Okay? So we're going with Trump. Don't mind that Negro man who's a cab driver. Once Donald is elected, I'm going to say to him, Trump, would you please send some tourists and take it from me? Donald Trump will send us plenty tourists and the economy will do good. I know that sounds strange to many of y'all, but that's because y'all are not as mystical as I am. Donald Trump is mystical, I am mystical. And I'll have you to know that Donald Trump loves the Negro people. Who Donald Trump loves? He loves us. He loves the Negro people, okay? Trump, 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 fight, fight, fight. It's powerful. Okay, my spiritual advisor, let's get back to what you were saying.
Yeah, but this child.
Yeah, so your understanding is he's alive.
This is what I'm told, that he may have survived.
Okay, well that would be
hospitalized.
That would be
now, I don't know.
Miraculous because the newsroom told me
that he died. That he passed away.
That he had died.
Okay. So when you look at this 8-year-old child, of course, I was saying some things, very, very interesting comments on the Freedom March Facebook chat. And one of those things that they talked about was bullying.
Bullying?
Yeah. And that has become an issue in the country.
In the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Our children are being bullied by whom?
Either at home or in school.
And so where is the history to show that as a result of Negro children being bullied, they're killing themselves?
No, that's another thing. That's another kettle of fish.
In Black Village.
But bullying does have an effect on folks who are...
In Black Village, we have hundreds of children, and none of the children them trying to kill themselves.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that.
And then sometimes, peer pressure, poor parenting. There are times when some parents really go overboard with their kids as far as being strict is concerned. And of course, even the scriptures tells parents not to be too harsh with your kids. Yeah, you want to send them the right direction. You want to correct them. You want to teach them. But in doing so, don't be too harsh with them, because if you be too harsh with them, it's going to discourage them. All right? So,
but you're not suggesting that talking to them harsh, telling them stay home, can cost them to commit suicide.
No, but
see, we have to watch out for this.
Watch out what? Now you trying to lean in the direction that I would say you need to be careful.
Which direction is this now?
You said something I never thought about.
What is that?
Because I've never heard it being said.
What is that?
That as a result of child suicide, it could possibly be murder.
Yes. Yes. Do you know who you're talking to?
Okay, Xander. But I'm not going to get involved with that.
Don't get involved.
That's up to the police.
Every death that is alleged to be suicide, there must be proper investigation. You will recall some years ago, the police in Grand Bahama announced that there was a citizen who they found was hanged, and they said it was suicide. I said right here, I don't believe it. And by grab, when they did the autopsy, they discovered it was not suicide. The person was murdered, and the murderer hanged the person up in the ceiling.
Okay, so fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
So I'm saying to you, yeah, these things are possible, but they ain't gonna convince me just like that.
Okay.
Because historically, we do not hang ourselves. We don't kill ourselves.
Who's we?
We, the Bahamian people.
Okay.
In Abaco, there was a 21-year-old girl. She cut herself on her leg because I think she claimed either the boy didn't like her or somebody didn't like her. And so she decided she can cut up her leg. She needs some hugs, some kisses, and a strong talk about if people don't like you, you don't kill yourself over that.
Yeah.
And then there's a 15-year-old female who thinks that maybe her mother doesn't love her, so a 14-year-old girl, so she attempted suicide. We need to have a talk with mothers so that they can learn to express more loves, and then we have to talk to young people and say to them, listen, when you can't hug mama, you hug Grammy. Simple as that. So your mom don't like you, and you got auntie, and you got grandma, what you know? I tired of this foolishness, all right? We have to cover it. We have to stop covering these things up. I want proper investigation, and I want the coroners to meet, because they don't meet. You know how many suicides has taken place in this country, and there's been no inquiry? They ain't fool me. They say it's suicide. I say it's sewer murder. That's my belief. All right? Let me see who's this calling me.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Rodney, did your people pick up that stuff? Oh, you on the A?
Yeah, I'm on there. I will talk.
Okay.
You done cut up the pig and everything?
Yeah, man. I told you I was done. Big guy was just calling you to confirm because he was supposed to pick up some. But call me later when you get through.
When I get up TV, I'll call the bishop. Okay?
Okay. All right, buddy.
Thank you. Okay. Well, that was good. That was Farmer Stewart who wanted to know if the bishop picked up that big, nice, rosy pig that the farm is donating to the cooking ministry. So Bishop is going to have a lot of pig to cook between now and next week. But the pig has been slaughtered and the pig has been cut up. So for those of you who love pig feet, you better go to Bishop Church because it's a big pig. You have a picture of that pig so that people can see how big that pig is? Yeah. So that is powerful. Well, I want to talk a little bit of local politics here. You would recall that the Foreign Affairs Minister, the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party, at the beginning of the week, he threw his arms up in the air and he asked the FNM, what do you want the government to do? And many FNMs seems to have been punch drunk. But in the Senate, Darren Henfield, he obviously picked up and he's now called for capital punishment. Well, Mr. Mitchell did respond to Darren Henfield and he launched on Henfield a very vicious attack, pointing out that Darren Henfield served in the cabinet of Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Mr. Mitchell reminded the country that under Minnis, under Free National Movement, Minnis came to power arguing and promising that he will execute convicted murderers. And Darren didn't say anything when Minnis gave him that juicy job. Dr. Dwayne Sands, he didn't say anything. And of course, it appears that among the vices of them all happens to be the opposition leader, Michael Pintard. Michael Pintard, as leader of the opposition, leader of the FNM, he held a press conference at the FNM headquarters, and when he was asked whether or not he was committed to hanging murderers, do you know that Michael Pentard would not commit to capital punishment? So there's no need to give the FNM a chance. See, they had 4.5 years. They had an opportunity to hang. Minnis said he would hang. Minnis was the party leader. Minnis became prime minister. Here is an opportunity for Michael Pentard to tell us what is his position. And my brother, Michael Pentard, told the media, he ain't making no commitment on that. So we could forget Michael Pentard. We could forget Michael Pentard because he does not offer us what we want. So we have to work on the PLP and see whether or not we can convince the PLP to move the impediments that permits persons who are convicted of murder from being executed. But in fairness of Michael Pentard, since he is our party leader, we need to know, every FNM need to know what Michael is saying. So FNM leader won't say over death penalty. Isn't it amazing? Free National Movement leader Michael Pentard couldn't say yesterday whether his party would remove the Privy Council as the highest appellate court for murder convictions if elected to increase the likelihoods that the death penalty sentencing would be upheld. He spoke after FNM Senator Darren Henfield voiced support for capital punishment and said the Court of Appeal should replace the Privy Council as the final authority in such cases. The Constitution allows parliamentarians to pass ordinary legislation that allow this while maintaining the Privy Council as the final appellate court for other matters. Now, so Michael, well, I clearly understand he doesn't want to commit to moving the Privy Council. Now, many citizens isn't aware as to why the FNM is confused on capital punishment. It would take an FNM to tell you why. The confusion in the Free National Movement came about because the then Attorney General, Carl Wilshire Bettel, fooled Dr. Hubert Minnis and the entire cabinet. Carl Bettel told Minnis that based on the Privy Council 2006 decision on capital punishment, there was nothing that the Parliament could do. And Carl Bettel, notwithstanding that Alison Maynard had made him a KC, King's Counsel, Carl Bettel was wrong in law, because Parliament has the power to pass any legislation, and if need be, it has the power to start any process on what? Amending any provision of the Constitution through a referendum. So the problem in the Free National Movement has been Carl Wilshire Bettel, and Carl has regrettably misled Dr. Minnis. And because Dr. Minnis is not an attorney at law, because Michael Pentard is not a lawyer, they lack what I call the legal instinct. Now, there are many of us who are not attorneys, but naturally we have what I call the legal instinct, where once we hear the law, we know it. And therein lies the problem. And it is regrettably that we are now faced with a new leader who is a non-lawyer. He's not trained. He's never done any legal studies. And therein lies the problem. So Carl Bettel has been the authority in the Free National Movement. And as a result of that, the FNM is on its way to hell. And therein lies the problem. it would have been better if the FNM had spoke to, guess who? The Simnett fella. He was a former attorney general, but he was very smart. That's what is the Simnett man who was a former attorney general name? Sir Roland Simnett's son. What's his name?
Brent?
Brent.
Oh, really?
All right. So
Okay.
it's regrettable that Brent and Minnis did fall out, and it's regrettable that Brent is no longer playing active politics. Brent would have told them that Parliament can bring the legislation. Two sets of legislation the Parliament can bring. It can move to hold a referendum to make hanging constitutional. So notwithstanding the finding of the Privy Council, Parliament is supreme. Parliament can bring the legislation if it follows the Constitution correctly. Therein lies the problem. Now something got to be wrong. That me, who went to C.C. Sweeting, could explain this to you. And Carl went to one of the best university, in the university, or should I say in the universe. And Carl misled them. Therein lies the problem. Carl misled them. It's a very sad, sad story in our country when a party depends on one person.
Freedom March with Rodney Munker will be right back after this. is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. And of course, I want to reconfirm to you that we have been in contact with state officials who have confirmed that the 8-year-old Negro lad who was found hanging through St. Albans Drive around noon today, he died. Okay, so there's no speculation. We have spoken to senior government officials. They have confirmed, regrettably, that he died around 1:30 p.m. this afternoon.
Sad, very sad indeed.
So that's what is happening here in the country.
Wow.
It's just tragic. It's enough to cause all of us to go into the road
And scream.
It's terrible. So we have to learn a new thing when we meet our children, the nation's children, other people. Let's say kind things to them. Let's hug them. Let's love them. Sometimes it might be very difficult, but the world needs love. Family needs love. Children need to know that they are accepted. The 14-year-old girl who attempted suicide, she says that she had no other choice after her mother told her she didn't want anything and she didn't like her anymore. So it's so emotional. So why she needs to live if your mom at 14 don't love you anymore? Can you imagine that? At 14, your darling mother tells you, I don't like you. Wow. So let us be more loving to our children, even those who perhaps provoke us as adults.
Yes, even so, absolutely.
It's a major tragedy. Anyway, it's birthday time, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a couple of birthday shout-outs to do at this time. So let's see, who do we have? Simone Bain. We want to send a happy birthday shout-out to Simone Bain. Simone Monique Bain is coming from her siblings, Sonia, Andrew, Danny Bain, her mom, Sandra Bain, the Pembroke Academy family, especially from Marco, OGC Strong and family. So happy birthday to Simone Bain. And then Erlene and Immaculate's Heel. Happy 42nd anniversary to our beloved sister Erlene Heel and her husband Immaculate's Heel. From your sister Freddie Meadows and Sam Ship Meadows, and sisters Carmen Doris, your brothers Herbert Roberts, RJ Roberts, Preston Roberts, Dr. Christopher Roberts, Police Constable Julian Roberts, and her mother Annie Roberts. May the Spirit of the Lord continue to dwell around you and your family. All right, so that's it, Sandra.
And today, I accompanied the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, who paid a wonderful call on one of the senior constituents of his, Miss Constance Hutchison. And we took a number of pictures, including video, but I won't show the video until tomorrow. And Miss Constance Hutchison, she celebrated her 90th birthday today. And what was great about accompanying the minister is that Miss Hutchison lives through my corner, Monker's Alley. So it was exciting when I visited my corner, Monker's Alley. There she lives. And I met her wonderful daughter and her family. So I joined the Minister of National Security in wishing 90-year-old Constance Hutchison a happy birthday. And I want the nation to know that Miss Hutchison told me it's powerful. And I left convinced that she accepts my leadership. Lord, I thank you for Miss Hutchison at age 90, who recognized that I'm leader of the woman then. She think it's powerful. And I want to thank Miss Hutchison for that juicy slice of pork chop. I've not eaten it yet, Miss Hutchison, but when you're not looking, I slip it in my coat, and it's safely in Black Village. So I'll see how that pork chop looks when I knock off today, but it was great. So I join Minister Wayne Monroe, your constituent, and all your family in wishing you a happy, happy birthday. And one day we have to talk about your political struggle, how doing the struggle for the vote, how doing the struggle for majority rule. You joined Pinling and the PLP in sitting down on Bay Street. And Ms. Hutchison, you have to teach these young people, particularly these young girls, about the political struggle of the senior Negro woman them for black majority rule. It's wonderful. A wonderful mother, a wonderful grandmother, a wonderful great-grandmother, a wonderful constituent. It's powerful. Happy birthday, my love. Yeah, it was great today. Yeah, it was great. Well, we finished birthdays?
Yeah, we're done, yeah.
Yeah. I want to salute women everywhere, and I want to salute the 41 nurses who it is expected to join the mental health profession, because I received intelligence that the minister responsible for health, Dr. Michael Dowell, recognizing the mental health challenges which exist in our country, we should see 41 nurses being added in this battle to manage mental health issues. And here in Nassau, when you look at many of the things that are happening, take it from me, the majority of us, we have mental health problem. The problem is we can't tell people that, because once they know I'm crazy, do you know what that means, eh? It's not good for my reputation. People talk it, that kind of thing. But I thank God that the Minister of Health is moving in the right direction, because our people need counseling. All right? All of this violence that you see taking place in the country, all the shooting, all the killing, all the fighting, we are crazy. We are crazy because we live in such a beautiful country where there should be expression of solidarity. There should be hugs and kisses. Love, not war. But the devil has had a great influence, and I want to warn the police openly. I want the police to know it is against the law for any man to beat up a nurse. I want the Commissioner of Police to know it. I want the Deputy Commissioner of Police to know it. I want the police managerial team to know it. And then by extension, I want those officers who are in charge of the Central Detective Unit to know that I say it's against the law to beat up a nurse. All right? And I shall not tolerate that as one of the King's Justices of the Peace. So any woman who shows up and alleges that she's been assaulted by a man other than her father. See, the only man who should be able to check that is a nurse is a daddy. All right? Yeah, we should be able to check that as our daughters if they're going contrary. Outside of that, no other man. And I'm very disturbed that in the District of New Providence appeared before me a nurse who has alleged the doubt has arisen as to whether or not the police will give her justice. And I want the Commissioner of Police to know I want him to know it will not be just. Okay? I just want the Commissioner of Police to know. No nurse is to be beaten, threatened by any man. I don't care if the man claimed to be her husband, her boyfriend, her lover. I cannot have that in the District of New Providence, of which I have declared publicly, I'm in charge of the District of New Providence. And I don't want that. Other than that, I'm going to be upset, and I'm not supposed to be upset, okay? So I think the police now pick up that I am aware and I'm watching, okay? I'm watching. Remember now, I'm not saying it anymore, no nurses are to be beaten either inside the Princess Margaret Hospital or outside the Princess Margaret Hospital. And anybody who thinks that they ought to beat a nurse, I'm going to advise you to go to the nearest police station and complain. Say to the officer, officer, I'm here. I think there's a nurse that I feel like I should beat, and ask the officer what he thinks. All right? And let's see what the officer would suggest to you. My spiritual advisor?
Yeah, well, I think they're saying that today, October the 10th, if producer can put that flyer up, it's World Mental Health Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
It is observed. It's observed every October the 10th. Producers, that's what they're saying. Hold on. Observed annually on October the 10th, World Mental Health Day aims to raise awareness about mental health issues, promote mental well-being, and advocate for better mental health service globally. This year's theme, set by the World Federation for Mental Health, is prioritizing mental health in the workplace. So we have some people in the workplace who may not be healthy mentally.
Yeah.
Well, explain that.
Well,
because they shouldn't be the work.
I'm in the workplace.
What workplace? But I can tell you one thing, yes.
I'm in the workplace.
Right now we're in the workplace.
And I think...
And there are times when you're right at the edge, you're driving me crazy.
Really?
So I need some help.
Well, I'm going to suggest
to deal
that
with
once
this man
I'm driving
on my left.
you should put on full brakes.
Yeah,
and jump off.
From the screaming and the banging on the table and the...
It's mental health.
It's driving me crazy. So, all right, I need some help.
So, there's a lot of people I need to drive crazy.
Oh, boy, tell you. Anyhow.
But it's mental health. I thought this was National Heroes Day. But when is National Heroes Day?
I think Monday is a holiday.
I asked you, when is National Heroes Day?
When originally was Discovery Day?
Christopher Columbus discovered
October the 12th, right?
the world October the 12th.
Right. I think we changed it, didn't we?
Yeah. And when is National Heroes Day?
I'm embarrassed. You get me there. It may be the 10th.
It might be the 10th?
Yeah.
Or is it the 12th?
It should be the 12th.
Well,
I don't know. I'm confused. I forgot. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm embarrassed. But I remember we used to celebrate Christopher Columbus Day, October the 12th.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
And we changed it, right?
The 12th, I'm celebrating.
We got rid of Columbus.
Which day the 12th falls?
Today is the 10th, Saturday.
Saturday is the 12th?
Yeah, and Monday is a holiday.
Okay, well, I'm celebrating Columbus Day on Saturday.
Okay.
October 12th, everybody should celebrate Christopher Columbus. Had it not been for Christopher Columbus, we would not have Christianity.
Mental health in the workplace.
Isn't that powerful?
I don't think so. I wouldn't go that far.
And also, well, the spiritual advisor, he wouldn't go that far.
He wouldn't go that far.
Had it not been for Christopher Columbus,
because Christopher Columbus was a poor representation of Christianity.
Have come into this part of the world.
But he was a poor representation,
and better or
to
not,
say the least.
He was a poor representative. He was the representative. I had nothing to do with that. I was somewhere in Africa, I believe. But I'm going to celebrate Columbus Day, and I call on the PLP government, will you please erect Christopher Columbus statue
poor representation
back in the front of Government House? If you are not willing to erect it, may I have it? I'd like to erect it on my front porch in Black Village. Now you stop telling me that, because I am not going to be a revisionist, and I'm not going to have the Rastas, after they spoke up all that dope, go downtown and do what they did to Christopher Columbus. Don't forget, the Rastas, who were giving all this free legal dope, what did they do? They went before our ancient parliament and they sprayed paint on Auntie Vicky. Who's Auntie Vicky? Auntie Vicky is our blessed sovereign, Queen Victoria. That was terrible. And then the Rastas went to Government House. What did they do? They launched an assault on a statue that it is alleged was erected in 1835. And we allowed one Negro to interfere with our tourist market by damaging the statue of Christopher Columbus. And y'all playing revisionists? Come on, Columbus, discover us. Huh? And when Columbus discovered us, those who were indigenous, we got rid of them, and a new set of people took over these rocks keys. The white man and his African slave. That's history, okay? And I'm very sad every time I pass Government House and I look to the south.
Thank you.
And I don't see Columbus. I wonder, what have they done to the statue of Christopher Columbus? What have they done? I demand it, okay? I demand the statue be returned, or give it to me, and I shall erect it among the Africans of my village, Counter Buta, which is Black Village, and I'm certain that the people of Black Village would understand the history of Christopher Columbus. Isn't that powerful, my spiritual advisor?
History doesn't look good for him, to be honest. Well, anyhow, let's get back to World Mental Health Day. Now, one of the things that I'd like to mention is that we do have a lot of mentally challenged people walking around our society.
Really?
Yeah, and I always wonder.
What are the signs?
Like, say, for instance, right, in the San food store area, there's a man who goes to garbage bins and he pulls out whatever he could, inclusive of, I hope nobody's having their dinner or lunch, baby Pampers, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't care to mention. And he sits down across the road from some food store, and he's just having a time. There are times when
What do you mean that he's having a time?
He's eating.
Are you suggesting that he's eating the Pampers?
He's eating, you know.
The Pampers?
Yes, sir.
So why have you not made an effort to report it to the authorities?
We reported more than
to
once.
Who? Who did you report it to?
The police came. There were times when the police came. Once the police, there was a very kind police officer who placed him in the government vehicle, and the next thing we know that the young man was taken to Sandlands. He was treated. When he came back out, he looked different because this young man used to have on at least 12 to 13 shades, 6 or 7 pants, and plus a big jacket. And he would never cut his hair. He wouldn't bathe. There were some church folks who would come to visit him on Sundays and bring him food, but they would not get him help. There were some police officers who we asked what could be done with this young man. And they say, well, you know, he's not causing any trouble. He's not harassing anybody. You know, he's just there. So what could we do? So we were wondering if the police could actually initiate getting him some help by taking him to Sandlands.
They
can't do that, right?
That isn't how it is done.
So how does it
The
done?
practice is that he is to be taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital to be placed in a holding cell. Princess Margaret Hospital requires that some relative of his and or a good friend will remain with him for the 12 to 16 hours it takes for them to do the many tests before they transfer him to Sandlands. Therein lies a problem because he may not have any relatives who are willing to come forward, or he may not have any friends who want to hang out at the hospital for all those hours. But I am suggesting that the government can skip that and take him to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he can be quickly assessed and then taken to the Silence Rehabilitation Center. Certainly from what you have described, that calls for state intervention.
Okay.
Because no citizen should be allowed to be subjected to that as a result of his mental illness. Certainly, if I am walking the street as a crazy man, I would hope that there are people who would say, no, we're not going to let Brother Monker eat up the garbage and to be abused. We're going to help and assist in getting him mental health assistance. And therein lies the problem.
And so this man is still in this area. At one point, he was like on Montreal Avenue, not too far from Shirley Heights Gospel Chapel, and that whole area, just north, just south of the Gospel Chapel there, would be filled with garbage that he's been transporting from one bin to the next. And he actually sleeps with the garbage. And I always wonder, what could the government do to help this man? This man needs help.
Well, something
he needs help.
Something could be done, something should be done, and perhaps it's a matter. You are very close to the Minister of National Security. Maybe you should talk to him and say to him, can you not find the police who would take him to the Princess Margaret Hospital and stay with him? Because one of the issues with mental health people is there is that capacity to be violent, to act up, and the hospital wants someone who theoretically can restrain that person. You see? So therein lies the problem. Or perhaps you need to look at the new amendment to the Mental Health Act to see what new powers the state has acquired, particularly based on what you are describing.
And he's not the only one. We have a lot of people who walk around that they're challenged mentally by the things that they do. There's some people who walk in the middle of the road, and you say to yourself, why is this person walking in the middle of the road? You can't knock them, you can't hit them, of course. I mean, it doesn't seem as if you can even have an accident.
Don't say you can't, say you should not.
What I'm saying, though, it cannot even be an accident that you would hit them, because therein would lie a problem where road traffic may decide to charge you. But we have some serious issues.
You must agitate.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now.
To a wonderful Christian nomination.
I'm not a part of any denomination.
What are you part of?
I am a member of the First Century Church.
You're a part of the First Century Church?
Right.
And for 2,000 years, you all have done nothing for the mentally ill. So, I'm going to suggest.
It's amazing.
That's.
I guess I walk into that one, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
So, you should organize.
But listen, those people that are on the streets that has this mental problem, the government needs to assist them.
Yes. The government
and there's
needs
so many people, and I'm sure
but you have
the
not
listening audience
for them. You have to agitate.
And I'm doing that now. Listen, I'm sure when we open the lines at 5:30, somebody will basically agree with me that we have a lot of people who walk in the streets that are mentally challenged, and it doesn't even as if the government, no one is checking for these people. Like I tell you, the police will say, listen, this person, like they're not a nuisance. They're not committing any crime. They're not bothering anybody. Yeah, the things that they do is unconventional, not normal. People don't normally do these things, but what do you want us to do? That's what some police officers say.
We want them to take them to the hospital.
Anyhow.
This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. Let us help those among us who have mental health challenges. There's some, it's difficult to do anything with them because their heads are bad, they're carrying on, they ain't got no manners. It's a bunch of problems. Mapkune ampil munyo ki sorti IT gate malted.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. Welcome back to Freedom March.
Thank you so much, Senator. If only you would take my spiritual advice.
I always listen to you, my spiritual advisor.
Man,
I listen to you.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I do.
Anyhow, let's pay
I do
some
listen
bills.
to you.
You do listen to me?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Let's
Will you pay bills?
Let's pay some bills quickly.
Okay.
Join us for the Baines and Grandstand Homecoming and Music Festival from October the 12th to the 14th and celebrate community heritage and empowerment with live performances, traditional Bahamian games, and the prestigious Cotton Tree Award honoring those who have shaped the Bain and Grandstand community. 103.5 FM The Beat is your exclusive media sponsor, bringing you all excitement live. So don't miss out on this incredible celebration. See you there. Looking for a quick getaway? Fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $290 round trip, including 40 pounds of checked bags. Book your next adventure now at westernAirBahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. MoneyMax. Live your max life. Back to you, Sandra.
This is powerful. Well, folks, once again, it appears that the state of Florida, there has been tremendous damages taking place there, but there were many counties that escaped it. I've been advised that Fort Lauderdale did not suffer any major damages, so we have to continue to pray for the people of the United States of America. Perhaps tomorrow I may engage you in climate change and whether or not Donald Trump is right when he say that climate change is a hoax.
Is it what?
A hoax.
Hoax.
Help me to pronounce the words. It's a what? Help me, Mr. President, educate me.
It's a hoax.
A hoax? We will have to discuss what Donald Trump say, whether or not Donald Trump is correct that climate change is a hoax, because
Hey, Donald Trump.
I am beginning to believe that Donald Trump is correct when he say climate change is foolishness. So I'm studying it because Donald Trump is one of the greatest intellectuals among the presidents of the United States of America. And for some reason, I sense that Donald Trump is correct when he argued that climate changes is a what? A hoax.
H-O-A-X, hoax.
A hoax. That's very significant. But let's assume for a second he's wrong. We do know that it is the United States of America who burn the most fossil fuel in the world. Don't forget that, eh? And it's America who's experiencing the most hurricanes and tornadoes. Last night they had about 13 to 14 tornadoes while the hurricane was taking place. So we'll have to look at what Brother Trump said, because it is very possible that racism is the reason why people are saying that Donald Trump is wrong. And I believe that Donald Trump might be right when he say that climate change is a hoax. Be careful of Brother Donald Trump. He's brilliant and it's powerful. You may now open the line, my spiritual advisor.
All right, we're going to open the lines. 323-7775 is the number to call. 6980775 and 6980776. Those are the numbers to call if you want to engage us today Feel free to call us. We're now engaging in phone calls. 323-777-5698, 775-698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
I have Mr. One call. Mr. One call, private line. I'll call him later.
801
Just a minute. 801
57
5
760 801 5760. Call me at 7:30.
730.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my
You're
love.
welcome, ma'am. Take care.
801 5760.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Next caller. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Caller, you there? You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Hello.
You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Yes, I just want to say, okay, it's Mental Health Day, right?
Yes.
Now, I want to say that everybody in Nassau can be walking the streets if they don't fix these potholes in the road and fix the healthcare system of this country.
Okay.
Because it's really serious. And just to say, my nephew ended up in hospital because he was trying to duck a pothole in the Cable Beach area and the car flipped on his hand. So he had to end up getting surgery.
Now, do you know that he can sue the Minister of Works?
Well, that'd be a good thing if he could get some money, but the
Take it from
government.
me. If you don't believe me, just ask Janet Boswick. Her husband is Henry John Boswick. One day, Mr. Boswick was driving his wonderful car, and one of the tires fell in a hole, and the tire burst. What do you think Mr. Boswick did? He took the government to court, and he won the case, and the government had to pay him big bucks plus buy him a brand new tire. Tell your brother, sue the government damn, okay?
Yes, because he's probably still in hospital at this time. He had to end up getting surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're sorry,
But
but
I just want to tell you, don't send the crazy people to PMH because enough trouble up there.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what the rules are.
They get enough trouble with all them crazy people.
But that's the rule. You have to go to the Princess Margaret Hospital because what we might think is mental issue might be as a result of some other physical problem. You get me?
Yeah, that's true. And to them, it's like some people with mental illness, like a job, they get up and they get ready, just like how I get up and get ready to go to work every morning.
Well,
they get up and they get ready and they go on the road.
Well, that is true. That is true. That is true. But we have to help them, okay?
Yeah, but I wish for all the best of health, and we really need,
And if you run across any person that you suspect has mental health issues, tell them you love them and see what you can do for them, okay?
Amen.
Amen, my
Okay,
sister.
thank you.
all right,
is powerful.
take care now. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Go ahead, caller. You there? Hello?
You can hear me?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
All right. Yeah, good evening. Hope all is well with you all, man.
Yes, sir.
But listen, that fellow who break off Christopher Columbus' leg, I don't think he was Rasta. And I feel they should let that man go. Because Christopher Columbus, them only rape up a lot of people and rob a lot of people and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, but
because people was there before Christopher Reach.
Yeah, you're correct. The only problem is that statue that he broke up doesn't belong to Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, but the statue's a lie. What, you want to tell the people lie?
No, it's not a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie. Christopher them robbed a lot of people, man. They destroyed the Iraq Indians and other people.
No, that is not true. There was never
man.
no Arawak Indians here.
Whoever was on the line.
And they brought
Listen
Jesus.
to me. That was mythology to justify owning the land. One day you and I will talk land talk, okay?
All right,
Listen, the white man ain't trying to brainwash us in it.
The white man, my daddy, you stop that. My daddy could never brainwash me.
Yo?
My daddy cannot brainwash me. He might have brainwashed Mama, but not me.
Thank you so much, caller.
That's what they do good, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this was to let that man go and give him $500,000 so he can enjoy himself. I was saying, not buy 2 bears.
Wow. This is powerful.
Yeah, because it was no good. They sell us a bunch of lies.
Listen to me.
And then they teach us how to accept it.
No. Columbus did discover the New World.
The New World, somewhere but the people
People was already here.
Listen, it was new to them.
Okay. Well, say that.
Understand it.
So what happened to the people who was there already? Why they ain't getting no celebration?
There was listen to me. There was no new persons. Okay.
Yeah.
One day,
because that's their line. The ticket.
One day I'll teach you the real story. Okay.
And these people the white man teach you.
No, this didn't come from the white man now.
I'll be with your daddy teach you. Sorry.
Okay, this come from daddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, caller.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. All right, we lost that call. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Mr. Advisor.
Yes, sir. How are you? Mr. Producer.
Rodney Manka.
Just 1 second, please. Just put the camera on me. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Pumpkin Eater.
Yes, sir. The one and only, the original. Rodney Manka, the big rally tomorrow at 3 o'clock with Donald Trump.
Okay, we have to go to that.
Yeah, that's going to be web stream. I am a volunteer, campaigner for the Bahamas. I signed up yesterday. Say that again?
You're what?
Volunteer campaigner.
Okay. So come to the Bahamas now. What is it that you want to discuss today?
Say that again?
Come to the Bahamas now. What is it that you want to discuss today?
What do you mean come to the Bahamas?
Cause
that's one of the things I wanted to discuss. But I also wanted to say, and thank you, Special Advisor, reminded me, I wanted to give tribute to the great Darryl Miller. The show, the legend, started from Love 97, 12 Midnight, out of Rodney Manka, remember that? Then he went to ZNS. Love 97 is one of the second or third private radio media. But he's a legend. He's a people person, and like Rodney Manka say,
go around and get it.
More and more. Rodney Manka, thanks for that wonderful contribution. Special Advisor.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're supposed to talk about the children from God's perspective, because the president to be, she believed strongly in the abortion. And God said, when you want those little children, you better elaborate on that. And I'm still waiting on you to do that.
Okay, well, I'll do that tomorrow.
But Rodney Manka, and Spiritual Advisor,
you take care.
Keep up the good work and keep on educating the people biblically about our principles. And abortion is illegal. Donald Trump is the man to go. Have a good day.
Yes, you too. Take care, Punkinito. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
How you doing, Spiritual Advisor? Mr. Manka?
Doing well. How are you?
Very well, very well.
Great.
One of your callers addressed earlier in the week this issue about these truck drivers the trucks that the police drive.
Right.
And I saw one of those today speeding along the highway, and actually an officer was sitting in the back of the bed.
On the bed on the back of the truck?
Yes, sir.
Really?
I thought that was illegal to begin with. I think Mr. Monk need to address with the minister the protocols about these trucks and how they're handled. They definitely shouldn't be used in chases. And, sitting in the back of the bed is definitely illegal to begin with.
Well, why do you say sitting in the back of the bed is illegal?
No, on the tail.
Oh, so the tail was down?
No, not on the gate, on the
Oh, you mean
edge of the
sitting up
truck,
high,
you know?
or sitting up high on the tail itself?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. When he should
Yeah,
actually be
and-
sitting inside the truck.
Bad. Right.
Yeah, okay.
And seeing a police officer doing it was just unimaginable. I just want to also mention to Mr. Moncha, if he thinks that Donald Trump may be right about
Climate change,
then that would put him, that diametrically opposed to what Mr. Brave Davis is campaigning all about. So, which one is it going to be?
Right, because the Prime Minister did attend a summit on climate change with some other countries.
That's his mantra. That's his mantra from he came into office.
Yeah,
That has been the position of the governing Progressive Liberal Party led by Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis. Notwithstanding that the Prime Minister has that position, I was pointing out that Donald Trump has alleged during the course of the campaign that climate change is a myth. And so I decided, let me see what Donald Trump is saying. And of course, I'm investigating. And when I would have done my investigation, certainly I would share it with the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, because he mightn't be aware.
Well, I'm certain he knows what Donald Trump is saying, but perhaps I would want to use an example of two interesting events that occurred in the Bahamas. One took place about 1866 in the southern part of the island, and I'm investigating. Okay.
One more thing, Ms. Mont. Mr. Mitchell, he's throwing up his hand, and frustration. Obviously, they don't know what to do with about crime, hanging, etc., etc. I mean, if that's the case, then I would suggest that he call an election, because
let's assume that we went by your suggestion. Why call an election prematurely when Michael Pintard is not committed to capital punishment? For me, it is better that the PLP remains in power, and I knock at their door every day.
Do you think there's hope that you could convince them to hang? Because at this point, he doesn't have a clue what they throw everything at crime now, and he's throwing up his hand. So
well, I think he was responding to what the Free National Movement has said. And so he pointed out to the Free National Movement all that the PLP has done. But the FNM failed to say, well, why don't you hang? They have not said that, because philosophically, we don't believe in capital punishment. I'm the only FNM who believes in capital punishment.
So you think, I'm talking about the PLP now, the people who are in power, you think there's hope that they have an answer to the crime situation?
There is hope. I'm working on a strategy. I'm beating at the door.
Awesome.
And one of the blessings that I have as an FNM is that I have access to every PLP minister. So it's a wonderful blessing that I have inherited. Do you know what it is to be an FNM and have access to the government, and you can make wonderful suggestions?
It seems helpless.
Say it again?
I mean, the situation seems helpless, like the minister throws up his hand and say, well, what do you want me to do?
Well, yes, no, accept your argument, but the point that I make is that the official opposition could not offer him an alternative. So
but you are content that the government is the one at the wheel and responsible for the security of the nation.
I can see that point to you, but you must understand the parliamentary democracy. Here is the government, and then the civ is the FNM. So in the event that the government collapses, the FNM is the civ. But there's no civ, because the FNM has no philosophical position, starting from Dr. Minnis, who led a cabinet. He misled all of them, and none of them have stood up against him. Okay?
All right.
Thank you so much, caller.
I thank you.
We got to go.
Yeah.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Yes, how are you?
Yes. On the issue of
mental health.
Yes.
A lot of people do go through it, and most people don't rely on talking to someone. They rather keep to themselves, keep it to themselves. But you have to find someone to talk to,
That is true.
mental health.
That is true. That is true.
And I can say that I'm one of those people. Many times I do go through it. When I grew up, there were neighbors, there were friends that you can talk to. And most people, when you talk to, they would be like, oh, just keep praying. That's a good advice. But still, you need someone to help to rely on.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Down here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask Dr. Michael Dowell what happened to the Community Mental Health Division of the Ministry of Health.
That is on Collins Avenue.
Is it functioning? Is it functioning?
Yes.
So you can go there and get counseling? Pardon?
But I do my dialysis 3 times a week.
Okay.
It's hard for me to get there and get back.
Okay. Okay.
So, like I said, they talk about it. They send therapists to dialysis procedures.
Okay.
And told us that, that you're dealing with seeing your blood come out your body and all those other stuff.
Right.
Right? That's like mental right there.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
it's something to think
that
about.
right there in itself,
Okay.
I see a lot of people go through it. That's me.
Yes.
Okay.
So with us, we try to mentally talk to one another to let them know that, hey, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here.
Okay.
We exchange phone numbers, we have a kidney support group and stuff like that.
Yes.
Just to really have someone to talk to.
So there's no one there to talk to?
Well,
Where you doing your kidney matter?
yeah, no, I'm saying, okay, like where I live here,
Yeah.
I live in the grove,
Yeah.
and I live with my son.
Yes.
Our situation is where he doesn't want to be bothered. When he's home, he wants to be bothered. He
Okay.
says he's home and he just wants me to, But I tell him I cannot do that. So I find somebody, I don't care if they talk it,
Yes.
but I still find someone to talk to.
Yes.
I
Yes.
pick my phone, call somebody, and talk.
Okay.
You have to, or if you don't, that will send you crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yes.
From I was a child, I went through bullying. I went through all that. I was raped when I was first, when I had my first child. I went through all that.
Okay.
So when someone comes to me and they say, well, I'm going through this like both, and I just kind of encourage them to, find someone that you can depend on. Don't worry if they talk it. That's them.
Right. Right.
That's them,
Yes.
Just try and get yourself together.
Okay.
You gotta keep
Have you
praying.
seen
gotta
Have you
call
seen
on
your
God.
member of
Pray
parliament?
to God.
Have you seen your member of parliament?
No, I'm not seeing Mr. Cartwright.
Who's your member of parliament?
Mr. Cartwright.
Mr. Cartwright. That's Shannon Dawn?
Yep.
Get a number.
The
Okay.
last I saw him, that was, I'm in need right now of a kidney transplant. I'm having end-stage kidney failure.
Have you been able to find a kidney?
No, I'm trying to. I just got a wheelchair.
Is she on the list?
Okay.
I just got a wheelchair.
My spiritual advisor wants your number.
Are you on the list to get a kidney transplant?
No, because they told me that
Pick a
they're
number.
not sure if I should be getting a kidney. I mean, I don't know what to say, but like when you are diagnosed, They call it end stage renal failure.
Okay, what is your telephone number?
The same 802-5151.
Okay. Call you after the show, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right, all right, take care. We're at the end of the show, actually.
Really?
We just got a minute to go. I'm so sorry, callers. For those who we missed today, call us back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and we'll talk to you. All right, Sandra, you got 60 seconds.
Well, folks, once again, it's a sad, sad piece of news to report that today the authorities has reported that an 8-year-old Negro lad is alleged to have committed suicide by hanging himself with a belt. It's a very tragic story. It is a story to make people of goodwill to holler. God save children everywhere. Let us hug them, let us love them, let us protect them. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. Do well, everybody. If it is God's will, tomorrow the spiritual advisor and I shall return. Forward march.
Good night, everybody.
Forward march, forward march, forward march.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved.